All right. You're welcome to today's presentation, and the presenter will be me, Marvelous Umpachi Ezike, and I'll be talking on a course, handling on a course English 101 on a particular topic of which has been chosen from the four tests, which is the rhetoric analysis of written and verbal communication. The next slide we'll be looking into understanding written and verbal communication. In the world today, before you can pass across your emotions and pass across a message, such a message will pass through a proper channel known as communication. Which means you have to communicate to someone at the receiving end. Okay, from the beginning end to the receiving end, on what message you want to pass across and emotions you want to express. So in this part, we really need to understand what written. Written cannot go without verbal, and verbal cannot go without written. They all move in one accord. Written and verbal communication fosters understanding, connection, and problem solving. I said earlier on, communication, either written or verbal, fosters or engages or increases, you know, or as well, let's put this word, I will put this word that enhance, a very deep understanding. When you do not communicate to your spouse, when you do not communicate to your client, when you do not communicate to those involved in the society, political leaders, societal leaders, and all the rest. When you do not convey your point through communication, there will not be understanding. There will not be mutual understanding of what you want to do or what you intend doing. Okay, so thereby it also build connection, strong connection in between two parties. Communication also brings up the opportunity of what solving problems. When you have issue on something on a project, when you do not communicate with your team, when you do not communicate with your team leader, when you do not communicate with the CEO or those in charge, it 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 destroys and um, you know it stunts the growth of a project and thereby affect one's productivity and viability. It is crucial in shaping relationship and resolving conflict. When we talk about relationship we are talking about in this aspect can be from the area and angles of marital relationship, you know, relationship in the working place between boss and between employer and employee, okay, and within your workers. So it resolves conflict. When you communicate, it builds and shaping the relationship and build and resolve conflict. We are going to be exploring the five rhetorical aspects, which are we are going to be looking into ethos, we look into pathos, we will look into logos, we will look into audience, and we will also look into purpose. Now, and we're going to see how we are going to, make use of these three texts and one alternate text. So the three texts and one alternate text as well. These are the things we are going to look into to unveil. This next slide is establishing credibility in communication. Through communication, you'll be able to establish a credibility, a trust and authenticity. Ethos involve building trust and authority. Okay, so ethos, as self-explained, can be used or can be used to build and foster trust and also to exercise and exhibit authority in a team or in the copy of a family. And one of it is the test is one of the tests is a safe place, written by P.S. Warden, which he used his own personal experiences to establish credibility. So when you read that the test, or when I read the test, I came to understand that Warden, okay, tried his much possible best to pass across his his credibility, his personality of whom he is, and letting his audience know what he's capable of, and the potential he has developed so far, via his experiences in life. Other tests use tune and expertise to connect with their audience, like what we've said earlier on. Other tools like PS used his own to express to his audience his credibility, his authenticity. Other tests as well, they use a professional, they use professionalism as well to connect or the expert skill or expertise power to connect with their audience, in a more effective way suitable for their audience. Connecting through emotions. Emotions is another thing that you can use to connect to your audience. Okay, when you do not show emotions through communication, it really looks as if you are gambling around your audience, your customer, your client. You are not giving and thereby not giving them exactly what they need. When you do not come down to their level, depending on the audience you have, when you do not come down to the level of the audience you have, trying to fit into their emotions, their level of emotions, then you are not communicating enough, or you are not communicating at all to them. Okay, now we will look into pathos engages the audience emotions to emphasize the importance of communication. A safe place evokes empathy through its narratives about finding safety and connection. Emotional resonance deepens understanding or the text. So these are the things that emotions can help you do in order to exercise and carry out proper communication to your audience, and coming down to their level of their understanding. Otherwise, when you do not come down to their level of their understanding, it equally shows that you did not communicate well with your audience. Building logical connection. This is another important factor that we need to look into. Okay, so logos rely on reasoning and evidence of and evidence to strengthen communication. A safe place build logical argument about the necessity of creating safe environment. Then other tests use data structure to program, and to portray an argument, thereby highlighting some certain or highlighting a major aspect of communication. Tailoring messages to the audience. Yes, effective communication identifies and targets specific audience. I have said this countless times. When you do not communicate effectively, you won't be able to identify, your targeted audience, your targeted specific audience. When you have seen your targeted specific audience, you relate to them according to their level of understanding. Once you do that, that is effective way of communication. That's all. Thereby, you have communicated more effectively and more accurately and properly to them. The safe place as a test speaks directly to those seeking emotional and psychological refuge. So this is where self-explained. The core tests adapt their style and tone to engage their readers as well. The next is the purpose of written and verbal communication. All right, so we'll be looking at why is communication, written and verbal communication important. The motive behind it, the purpose behind it, the actual sense and meaning why written and verbal communication is very very important is what. Number one, each test has a unique purpose. So each of the texts you are going to look into have a unique purpose. And what is their unique purpose? Number one is a safe place as a text. Its unique purpose is to what? To promote empathy and understanding. That is it specifically. Okay, so that is a specific, well narrowed, detailed uniqueness of what a safe place. It promotes empathy and understanding. Then the unique purpose of code test is to what? To inform. That is letting you know about something. Awareness, causing, bringing an awareness, and to persuade. That is persuade here means what? You know, giving you that good reason for you as a client and as the audience to go after that thing, then or invoke action. So once they've made you to see the reason, the good reasons why you and they've convinced you and it has convinced you enough, then you'll be able to take action, automatic action on it. Then purpose drive. Purpose drives rhetorical choices, influencing style and content. So that's the purpose. That's the unique purpose of what? Purpose. It drives what? Rhetoric choices. That rhetoric choices here is means what? Wise choices, good choices and influence. And when you make a good choice, the good choice you make will influence how your good lifestyle and the things you consume will be. Comparing perspective across tests. Let's look into this aspect briefly. The tests offer complementary or divergent views on communication. Agreement. Shared belief in the informative power of communication. Divergence. Difference in tune, focus, or intended outcome. Okay, a unified understanding of communication. Now, a unified understanding of communication, what is we have then outlined here is insight from all tests is what communication fosters connection, understanding, and problem solving. It is a dynamic process influenced by ethos, pathos, logos, audience, and purpose. Reflection, written and verbal communication is the foundation of meaningful interaction. All this outlined in the unification of understanding of communication is well and self-explained. Now we have come to the final note of today, and the final thought on communication and rhetoric is what? Ethos, pathos, logos, audience, and purpose. All these ones, all these things, all these tests did what? They do what? They shape effective communication. Okay, so written and verbal communication enhanced helps or fosters personal growth and societal progress, which is true. Then the third one is this text deepen our understanding of communication's power. Of course, it helps us to develop our understanding of the and to know the power of what communication. On the final note, thanks for listening to my presentation today. Okay, and I wish you all the best and good luck in the next time. Thank you.